welcome to the waning phases. So energy around the waning time is a little more reflective, more internal, a time to release, to purge, to let go. So during these next few days in the waning gibbous, you may notice some things are starting to bubble up to the surface, and your body is simply telling you it's wanting to let go, that these are no longer yours to hold. So all I ask is for you to simply acknowledge these things, send them some love, and send them on their way through breath, through movement, through yoga, journaling. And it is really important to nourish yourself during this time. So with that being said, today's flow, we are going to keep in mind letting go and breathing out what is no longer ours to hold, and send it off to the universe. We will begin today in a seat, starting off with some breath, because breath is essentially one of the best tools to bring in to let go. Knowing that each breath is always a new beginning, a time to start over. So finding a comfortable seat, letting the spine be upright, lifting up through the crown of the head. And we'll take 3 grounding breaths, inhaling through the nose. Gentle pause at the top of the inhale. And exhale, gently open through the mouth, sighing out. 2 more breaths, just like this, inhaling through the nose. Exhale, creating some sound release. Once more. And starting to notice wherever it is that you are at, any thoughts, feelings, emotions that are arising. And gentle check in with your emotional body, physical body, and spiritual body. We are going to start with 5 rounds of box breath. So this breath is an inhale for 4, a hold for 4, an exhale for 4, and a hold for 4. And we'll repeat this for 5 rounds. I'll guide you through. First, taking a cleansing breath, inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And slowly coming back to your natural rhythm of breath, in and out through the nose. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly, the expansion of your chest with each breath, the opening of your heart. Like a wave is washing over you and taking back whatever is not of love back out into the sea. You may even bring in ocean breath, a slight constriction at the back of the throat, hearing yourself breathe. As we sit here, you're welcome to set an intention for yourself to carry with you throughout this practice. There may be something on your mind right now that you wish to let go of, that you wish to release. Or perhaps it's a mantra. I am committed to my breath. My breath is my anchor. I accept and am able to move forward. Anything that resonates with you here, breathing in on this intention or word, sealing it in, and exhale, sighing out. And gently opening the eyes and finding your way down onto the ground with the soles of the feet together, knees wide in a reclined butterfly here. And you're welcome to place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And starting to soften through the body, soften through the thighs, the knees, just letting gravity do the work. Noticing as you breathe, feeling the lower belly expand, drawing the air all the way up, filling up the chest, heart space, crown of the head. Exhale, slow, deep release. You're slowly deepening your awareness, your connection to your body, to your spirit. Two more breaths here. This last breath, visualizing, drawing up love from your tailbone to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, releasing through the hips any stuck, sticky, stagnant emotions that may be causing you to feel a little blocked lately or a little hazy in the mind. We tend to store a lot of emotions through the hips. So this is a really nice pose to let go, to surrender to the now. Gently, with the help of your hands, start to bring your knees together. Draw the knees up in towards the chest. Cross right over the left. Arms out wide in line with the shoulders. And let both knees gently fall over towards the left. You can shuffle the hips up and over to the center so they are in line with the spine. And take gaze opposite way to the knees for a spinal twist. Softening through the jaw, the eyebrows, the shoulders and the chest. And the next inhale, breathing into the side of the ribs that's exposed. Creating some length between that hip and that armpit. Two more breaths here. And slowly start to squeeze in the muscles of the waist. Bring the knees back to center. Gently uncross and swapping other side. Let the knees fall towards the right. Little scooch of the hip to the center and take the gaze the opposite way. This is a really nice, juicy pose for the spine, wringing out any tension or stress that we can hold along the spine, the vertebrae. 2 more here. Gently come back to center, uncross the legs, squeeze the knees in towards the chest. You're welcome to lift the forehead up towards the knees, drawing the shoulder blades down, perhaps a gentle rock side to side. And slowly lower the head, take hands behind the thighs and the kneecaps. And we're taking about 3 or 4 rolls here up and down the spine before coming up and over to all fours. As you come up, cross the ankles, place the palms on the floor. And all fours here, wrists and elbows underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And from here, we're taking some gentle, slow and controlled chaturanga push-ups. So we're bending the elbows, sending the elbows towards the back of the room. Gently shift the chest forward and slowly lower to about halfway. Gaze is on the floor. Inhale, press back up. We'll do this 4 more times. Start to lower. Inhale, press the floor away, lift. Moving with your own breath. Take a movement on each breath. Last one. Engaging the muscles in the arms. Lift. And slowly send the hips back. Child's pose. Knees together or knees wide. Walking the fingertips out in front. Letting the forehead gently bow down towards the floor. Sending the breath to the outer ribs, feeling this area expand, expanding your awareness. Pressing into the palms, tuck the chin into the chest, rounding up to all fours. And taking some traditional cat-cow movements here. So lowering the belly, arching the spine away. And as you lower the belly, tilt the nose up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck the chin in towards the chest. And I know I said traditional cat-cow, but you're welcome to move any way that your body wants to move right now. Maybe some side-to-side movements, or perhaps even some stillness, holding the cow or the cat. And gently back, opposite way. It's a really nice way to articulate, to wake up the spine, to release, particularly if you've been standing or seating for a few hours. Toes tuck under. Start to lift the knees up off the floor and hover the hips up and away for your first down dog. Pressing into the palms. Gentle bend into the knees as you send the hips away, lengthening through the spine. Pedaling out through the knees or the heels if you like. Finding some stillness here. Gazes on the floor, pressing through the palms, drawing the eyes of the elbows in towards one another. And slowly start to baby step the feet all the way up to meet the hands. Nice and slow, there's no rush. And let the body, the upper body hang in a forward fold. You're welcome to hold opposite elbows, gently sway side to side. And gently release. Inhale to lift halfway, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees, lead with the chest and slowly start to sweep the arms up overhead as you come to rise into a standing. Lift the fingertips away. Exhale, release. Hands come down by your side. We stand in mountain pose here, fingertips open to the front, expanding through the collarbones, the chest. And feeling the heels press down into the earth, lifting through the arches of the feet, the kneecaps, the chest, crown of the head. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. As you exhale, lowering the right arm down by your hip. Inhale, send the left arm up and over, taking a side bend here. Tuck the chin in towards that floating armpit if you like. And notice the shoulders and the hips. We're wanting to be fairly even with our side bend here, extending from the hip all the way out to this floating fingertips. Inhale, slowly lift back to center. Other side, left arm floats down, reach the right up and over. Inhale, back to center. Bring the palms together, gentle bend back here. Press the heart away from the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, floating down. Step one leg back, then the other, finding your plank. In plank, pressing the floor away, gazes on the floor, slight puff up through the upper back. Exhale, gently soften the knees towards the floor. Bending the elbows, chest lowers all the way down. Tops of the feet press into the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Peeling the chest up and away from the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, lift once more. Perhaps you may come into a full cobra, lifting a little higher, pressing the heart space forward. Chin is slightly tucked in to protect the upper neck. Exhale, lower down, toes tuck under, knees down dog. You come back to your breath, your anchor. Gaze between the hands, stepping or walking into me. Bend into the knees, inhale, lift. Exhale, release arms, come down by your side. And take a moment here to recenter yourself, to find your balance, to find your ground. And if you feel like you've been starting to drift away with your thoughts, visualize your heart space tuning into this space. One more breath here, in through the nose. Exhale, sighing out. So move into our flow. Inhale. Reach the arms up overhead, bend into the knees, lower the hips, chair pose. Lift up through the heart, maybe lower the hips slightly, palms together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, find your plank. And knowing you can skip plank at any time and move into a child's pose for a rest or a down dog. Option here is to lower the knees first, or you can lower the chest all the way to the floor or halfway if you're coming through for upward dog. Down dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg lifts behind, three-legged dog. Bend into that right knee, squeeze it up and in and send it across the body towards the outer left elbow, squeezing it up towards the chest. Exhale, three-legged dog. Bend into the knee, outer right elbow. Exhale, three-legged dog. Bending into the knees, squeezing it in towards the waist and slowly step between the hands. back knee lowers down. Inhale, right fingertips lift, taking a twisted lunge. And notice this front foot here that you're pressing through the pinky edge to protect that knee and engage through the thigh and the IT band and that glute. Option is to stay here, or you can send the fingertips and the gaze towards the back of your space and take the heel, squeezing it in towards the glute, or maybe even taking a hold of the outer edge, pressing the foot into the palm and drawing the foot towards you as you open up through the chest and that left hip flexor. Gently lower down, framing off that front foot. Lift up onto the fingertips, lifting up through the chest. Pick the back knee up off the floor. And we're slowly starting to become light on the back toes into a lifted standing split. So rather than the focus being on this floating leg, think of chest and crown of the head towards that standing leg. As you exhale, bend into the floating knee and send it behind standing leg Shiva squat. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale, Shiva squat. Once more. Exhale. Last one from standing splits, gently lower the toes to the floor, keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge, pick up through the back thigh, bend into the front knee, gaze is straight ahead. Staying here for a breath. Exhale, hands to lower, find your plank. Taking flow of choice here, lowering the knees, chest, belly. You come back to downward dog, finding your anchor. Inhale, left leg reaches high, 3-legged dog. Bend into that knee and send it across the waist, squeezing it up and in towards the right elbow. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Bend into the knee, outer left. 3-legged dog. Bend knee and send it up and in, planting softly between the hands, back knee lowers. Right hand stays, left lifts for a twist. Option to stay where you are, you can start to float the fingertips to the back of the space, maybe drawing the foot in towards the glute. So you draw the right shoulder back, opening up through the chest. And gently lower down, framing off the front foot, lift up onto the fingertips. Start to become light on the back toes and lifting the leg behind, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat, bending behind. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Once more for a lift and Shiva squat. From standing splits, lower the toes down, press into the floor. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, framing off, finding your flow. And downward dog. Gaze between the hands, hop, step or jump to meet in a full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend into the knees, sweep the arms out and in front, sinking the hips, chair pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arms come down by our side. You can feel your prana, the heat moving through your body. Feels so good to shift things through you. That movement can really shift, move emotions and energy. Inhale, reaching arms up overhead. Bending the knees, sinking the hips, chair pose. Palms together, lower down, full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, step back, find your plank and your flow. From here, inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend into that right knee and peel it open for scorpion. So painting the sky of the knee, squeezing the heel in towards the glute. Send it back to center, squeeze it in towards the waist. Slowly step between the hands, back, knee lowers. Inhale, twist, right arm lifts. Just one breath here. Exhale to lower. Lifting up onto the fingertips, gaze straight ahead. Pick the back knee, standing splits. We're finding a Shiva squat. You lower the hips, inhale, standing splits. Shiva squat. Once more. Inhale to lift, exhale, lower down. Inhale, crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, we're opening up to the left to face the left side of the mat. Warrior two. Bend into that front knee. Gazes over the front middle finger. Finding your focus here, opening up through the chest. Flip the front palm, bend into the front forearm, and it can gently rest on top of this front thigh as you reach the left fingertips up and over. You're welcome to tuck the chin in towards the floating armpit, or you can lower right fingertips to the floor, reach up and away. Option here is to take a bind, sending left arm behind the lower back, or right arm underneath the front thigh, drawing back the left shoulder, reaching the crown of the head forward, twisting the belly button up towards the ceiling. And gently release, bring both hands to the inside edge of that front foot, bend into the front knee, straighten through the back leg, Skandasana. So here you can bring hands to heart, or you can keep fingertips on the floor. Press through the back leg, heel, flex the toes back. Engage the muscles in the legs. You can use the help of your hands here, walking to the back of the mat, Skandasana, opposite side. Walking to the front, framing off that front foot, press into the palm, step back plank, and take your flow. Inhale, left leg reaches high, three-legged dog. Bend into that knee, peel open, scorpion. Gently bring the knee back to center, squeeze it up and in towards the waist, and step between the hands, back, knee lowers. Right hand stays planted, inhale, left to lift, twist. Exhale to lower down, lift up onto the fingertips, back knee, floating the back toes and leg up and away. Bowing the chin down, forehead down. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Last one, as you lift away, softly plant the toes, lift to your crescent. And now we're opening towards the right side of the mat, warrior two. Gaze is over that middle finger and really extend out through the fingertips and the hip bones. Breathing into the chest, the belly. Start to shift the weight forward. You can bend a little deeper into this front knee if you like as you open it out. Bend into the forearm, reach right fingertips up and over, tucking the chin in towards the armpit. Option here to lower the fingertips to the floor and take your bind, lift and send the crown of the head forward, peel the right shoulder back. One more breath. And slowly lower the fingertips, Skandasana, straighten through the right leg, take the toes back with you. Hands can come to heart or fingertips to the floor. Bringing, drawing, squeezing and lifting up through the legs, floating to the back of the room. And slowly come back to the front frame off the front foot, step back plank. Crown of the head forward, take your flow. Beautiful. So pausing here, taking a few breaths, gently checking in with yourself. Where can you soften more? Where can you allow yourself to let go? And why are you holding on? Gently gaze between the hands, walk the feet in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, sweep the arms up and in front, chair pose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, floating down. So from here, we're making our way down onto the floor. Walking the feet a little wider, so about as wide as your mat, toes on a slight diagonal. Inhale to lift the arms up overhead. You can take the gaze with you, palms together, and slowly we're coming into our Malasana Yogi squat. So you press the palms together, start to lower the hips. It doesn't matter how high or low you are here. We're only here for a short time. You can place the elbows to the inner edges of the knees and the thighs to apply a little bit of pressure and more opening through the hips. Perhaps a gentle rock side to side. You're welcome to close down through the eyes, turning your senses inwards. Lifting through the crown of the head. Notice how it feels when you squeeze the shoulder blades and create more of a broadening through the back. And slowly from here, lift up through the hands. Take one hand behind the hip and then the other, fingertips facing towards the heels. You can shuffle the feet in a little in line with the hips and the knees. And we're coming into a reverse tabletop. So allowing yourself to make any adjustments you need. Press into the palms and the heels, and we're lifting up through the hips, engaging the thighs, the quads, squeezing the glutes, pressing the chest up and away. You're welcome here if the neck is feeling like it today to lower the head back, lifting through the hips. Strengthening the back body and the legs. One more breath. Coming into this gentle transition here, start to lower the hips, walk the hands forward, send the knees forward, lift up onto your toes and find a kneel. So you're welcome to roll the mat up underneath the knees. There's a little bit of discomfort here. And toes can be remained tucked, or you can let them come down onto the floor as we're setting up for camel pose here. So in camel pose, lift both arms up overhead. Reach the thumbs to the back of the room, lift up through the chest, making sure the thighs are in line with the knees, that the knees aren't splaying out to the sides. Option is to stay here, pressing the hips forward and thinking more of that lift and curve, as if you're reaching up and over a small fence or a piece of rope. Option is to bring both hands behind the back, fingertips facing down towards the glutes, squeezing the elbows in towards one another. Or you can bring hands to the back of the heels, lifting up through the chest, puffing up through the heart center. Your heart and throat is beaming out to the world. Maybe lower the tops of the feet down and gently lower the head back if that is available to you right now in this moment, listening to your body and whatever they're calling for right now. And a really beautiful breath here is lion's breath to release. So you inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, sticking out the tongue, looking up towards your third eye. 2 more. And gently, with the help of your hands, bring your hands to the lower back. Take a breath as you come to a kneel. Tuck the toes under, lower the hips to the heels. Toe squat here, making sure the pinky toes have come along as well. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Gentle tuck in, chin to chest, and come back to your normal rhythm of breath. Beautiful, one more breath. Gentle, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, give your toes a little tap, bringing the circulation back. And from here, let both hips come to either side, bring the legs around and in front. Flex the toes back, sitting on the bony parts in our glutes, the sit bones. Gentle bend in the knees so we're not locking through the joints. Inhale, reach the arms up, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, slowly start to come into a seated forward fold. Again, press the heart forward, broaden through the back and soften as you exhale. In forward folds, it's always a beautiful way to inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, allowing yourself to surrender, to receive the nourishment from this beautiful forward bend. It's really nice for our lumbar spine. Two more breaths here. And slowly walking the fingertips up towards the hips, planting the feet on the floor and sending our spine down, whether that's palms facing up, vertebrae by vertebrae, or gently lowering down as you wish. As you land on the floor, bring the knees in towards the center, squeezing it in. Gentle rock side to side, massaging the lower spine. the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling into a happy baby here. So flexing the toes back as if you're pressing your feet up against the ceiling, letting the knees naturally fall to their sides. And breathing into the hips. And gently bringing the knees together. Taking any final posture here before letting the legs rest onto the floor, setting up for Shavasana. Final pose here. Taking up as much space as you need. Letting the hands come a little further away from the body, letting the feet flop to their sides. And once you've found your place on the floor, before we have these next few moments of silence, I just want you to close down through the eyes if you haven't already, and start to clench up your hands. So squeeze your fingers in towards the palms, like a tight ball. Start to squeeze and tense up through the toes and the feet. Start to squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes, the core. Compress through the chest, contract. And the jaw, or even scrunch up through the eyebrows, the nose. Tensing your whole body, and as you're tensing, I want you to visualize any habits, conversations, anything that is no longer yours to hold, no longer serving you, no longer feeling right in your heart, to come to mind right now, to really come up to the surface. It's like you're a volcano about to erupt, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And on the next exhale, gently release, allowing this to go, to be held by the earth beneath you, wishing these things on their way. And this next breath, taking in this next fresh breath of air, feeling totally relaxed, allowing the body to be heavy. Expressing some gratitude towards yourself, towards your mind, your heart, your body. Honoring yourself. Gently here. Starting to tune back into your physical body. Perhaps starting to bring some movement into your fingertips and your toes. Deepening your breath. There's a beautiful Chinese proverb which states, tension is who we think we should be. Relaxation is who we are. And gently, the eyes closed, you may roll onto either side, whichever side you prefer. Simply make your way up to a comfortable upright position. Eyes closed and simply acknowledging yourself for wherever it is that you are at right now, how far you've come even from the start of this practice to now, knowing that you have shifted energy, you have released, you've become one step closer and you've let go. Bring your hands to heart center. Leaving the hands at heart center for clarity of intent. Place the hands in front of the lips for clarity of speech. Hands to the third eye for clarity of thought. Lower hands back to heart and honoring yourself for taking this time out of your day to practice with the Waning Gibbous. Thank you and namaste.